But those are our key areas of food science. And as an undergrad, you have to experience all of it. And some of it you're good at, and some of it you're not good at. Mine's is probably that mechanical part we talked about. But- And I lean more towards the bacteria, but as you go up in higher degrees, you get to start choosing the topic that you want to address. And so I lean towards microbes a little bit during my master's and committed to it completely during my PhD. But there's all different components of your food. While others may be eating and enjoying the food item, sometimes I may be sitting there breaking it down into pieces, trying to understand whether I like it or not, or what makes me not like it. And and I bring my sensory in all the time. I can make a face when people bring up certain foods, and I go, it's the aftertaste. And they go, I don't even taste that. So that is the science of food. That's how we kind of break it down for people.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. So your dissertation was focusing on the microbe part. Could you tell us a little bit more about that research?
So the research, I actually ended up in animal science for my PhD. So I ended up in our counterpart and really the grandfather of food science is what I was told by the animal scientists. Apparently they came first, so we have to give them their props. But I ended up working with produce safety and working with hydroponic tomatoes and looking at the safety that could be a risk, the safety risks that could occur in those settings. When we talk about produce safety, many people talk about whether it's safe to eat or whether it's nutritious. But with a lot of different outbreaks that we've been seeing occurring with produce, we're starting to look at what is the source that could lead to contamination of those produce? How does bacteria go from wherever it comes from and end up with the produce item? And so my project looked into the water safety of the hydroponic system. Water is a big issue for produce. It is used to help it nourish to grow, but it also can transport a lot of those foodborne pathogens that could make it contaminated, which could lead to people becoming ill. And so we were looking at if the water was contaminated with a foodborne pathogen, could that lead to the actual product becoming, final product having the pathogens in it? With the setup that we had, it did not, as it was set up the correct way. But we did have an accident where the system broke, and that's when we saw contamination, which in real life, those type of situations come, and those type of situations could lead to one of those outbreaks that you could see in real life. So I had real life happen during my doctoral program, and it actually made it into my paper.
I think that's actually good because, you know, yeah, because then it's very applicable. Sometimes research is a little bit more theoretical, but this is really applicable. And I know that you do work in food safety and since you have extension and outreach as part of your job duties, that means that you're out and about throughout the state. I guess in Louisiana now working on it. So you talk about that or also some of the past projects that you've done out in community?
And yes, when we talk about extension and outreach, we're taking the same research that I did for my PhD and taking it and sharing it with the target audience. How I saw my doctoral work show up in my extension role in Iowa, I was a part of our safe produce team. And we would actually be sitting in the room with farmers and growers and saying, hey, you need to watch out for this and that. And sometimes they would say, y'all don't look like y'all have any dirt under y'all fingers. We have y'all done this work before. And we would rebuttal back saying, now we don't go to your level of doing it, but we did simulate it in the lab, and here are the situations and the results that we saw there. I talked about the hydroponic setting breaking and the water going everywhere and how that salmonella splashed on those tomatoes. And then once I transitioned here to LSU, my focus went to 3 different areas. So my areas are food preservation, consumer food safety, as well cottage food and retail. And so I've been spending a lot of time since I've been here trying to working on developing a food preservation curriculum for the state. Food preservation has been out there forever, way before any of us were born.